Look at her.
Okay. Now,
little Edie herself.
when I saw the documentary Grey Gardens, I was extremely stoned. And it was like one of these moments of like, am I really watching this? Was this really a thing? And I don't know, it changed everything for me. It was like when people have a prophetic, like, religious experience. She could have been coming through the clouds and smacking me on the head, like waking me up to something. Because I don't know, how do you explain why she's so fantastic?
There's not really words. It's just you have to see it and feel it.
It's just a tragic beauty. It's I mean, like her story, her life story.
Yeah.
Imagine being the top of society and then going to living in a dilapidated mansion filled with raccoons and cat shit, you know? But still having the personality and the grandeur of an heiress, you know? There's nothing better than, I think that's what makes a truly good gay icon, is they have to be fabulous, they have to have something so alluring about them, but they also have to have some kind of tragedy in their life, and that's how we relate to them. As the disenfranchised queers that we are,
Right.
we're able to relate to these women because they've experienced a pain similar to our own, you know? I think, like, Judy Garland wouldn't be the queen of all gays if she hadn't had such a tortured beauty to her, you know? So, little Edie, I mean, who else can pull off going completely bald?
Totally.
Like, no one else can pull off alopecia like little Edie.
That alopecia
That's a good
was
drag
fierce,
name.
bitch.
Alopecia Dior, you know?
And you also kind of really brought that film into the forefront for a whole new generation.
I don't want to brag, but like the YouTube videos skyrocketed.
Yeah, honey.
The sales, the rentals.
It all
I mean,
went.
they've reached out to me a couple times, mainly just to say, hey, thanks. You
Right.
know?
Yeah, thanks for the money. Bye.
Yeah, no, but I'm happy to be
You
so
did your
closely
duty. That's
associated.
good.
Yeah. Now, I've been watching Absolutely Fabulous since I was like 7 years old.
Right, and
which
your
no
namesake?
7-year-old boy has any business watching Ab Fab.
Can't be inappropriate.
Oh, yeah, but I knew all the quotes. I knew everything. Even though I didn't get the jokes, I could recite them perfectly. I mean, if it weren't for Eddie Monsoon, there'd be no Jinkx Monsoon.
Right.
Not just the namesake, but like I learned everything that I hold dear about comedy from these two ladies, Lucille Ball, Sarah Silverman, and Devin Green, Maria Bamford. Like, funny females are the only reason I do drag, because I see these women doing the crazy shit they do on their show, and all I can think is, that's what I want to do. I want to fall down a flight of stairs, and I want to smoke 18 cigarettes at once, and I don't know, there's just something so amazing about watching a train wreck like that happen.
Right.
You know? She was at my theater one night because her husband, who actually played Vivian in The Young Ones, did you ever watch that show? Google it!
Jinx's Google alert that you're now at 2, okay?
Well, I hate it
Audience
when
at 2.
kids are like, who's that? Who's that? It's like you use your phone for everything but looking up names that you don't know.
Yes, exactly. We say that to our staff a lot. They're young whippersnappers.
But she was going to see her husband's play. I was doing my Christmas show at the Soho Theatre in London. I was walking down the stairs, and she was walking, so it was like, I was on the mid-level, she was on the top level, and it was like this. We missed each other by that much,
no.
Johnny. We just missed each other. And I don't even know what I would have done if I met Jennifer Saunders. I probably would have just like grabbed her and shook her really hard, you know.
That's what stars love, when you grab them and shake them.
Well, I mean, I've met so many people that it's surreal to think that I grew up watching Whoopi Goldberg in every movie, and then one day I'm like, you know, 10 feet away from her filming Watch What Happens Now with Andy Cohen. And I tell you, I was looking at the back of Whoopi Goldberg's head, and it took all of my strength and willpower not to just scream her name at her.
Right.
Like, I get what happens to people,
Totally.
you know? I just was sitting there, and all I could see was the back of her head, and I just was like, Whoopi! Whoopi, look at me, Whoopi! Like, but in my head.
Right, probably a wise choice. Oh.
Who's that?
Oh,
Is
Charles
that Charles
Bush.
Bush? Yeah. I have met Charles Bush a couple times. Wonderful, wonderful person to meet. But if you guys haven't seen Psycho Beach Party or Die Mommy Die, Charles Bush does what I've always saw myself doing, which is he plays female characters. So it's not that he plays a drag queen in the movie. He is a man playing an earnest, authentic, honest representation of a woman. And I think that's amazing because it doesn't always have to be a joke.
Yeah.
It doesn't always have to be I mean, her movies are hilarious.
Very much so.
But she plays her characters so honestly that it's not like watching a drag queen. You know, it's like watching an old Hollywood actress. She writes the movies, she stars in them, and I got to wear her shoes when I did the 10-year anniversary concert of Hairspray. I played Velma Von Tussle, and I wore all the original costumes. That
Wow.
The original Velma Von... I mean, they were let out a little bit. Just a tiny amount back then. But, of course, my feet didn't fit into those tiny shoes, so they shipped me over some of Charles Busch's shoes from Die Mommy Die.
Wow.
It was just amazing, and she's just so lovely.
That's incredible.
You can meet all these wonderful people in Provincetown this summer, ladies and
yes,
gentlemen.
you can. They'll all be right there, flying right next to you.
That is my, that's my drag mom.
Ah.
I never had like a traditional drag mom growing up, and now late in life, it's like Peaches has just kind of assumed the role of my drag mom.
Peaches Christ is
Kind
your
of
drag
by
mom.
force.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah. We talk about it because, like, of course, you know, I was my own queen by the time I met her, but we've been playing Big Edie and Little Edie for so long that we've just now kind of morphed into those roles.
Right.
She writes the most amazing parts for me to play. Like I played Joan Cusack in Addams Family Values.
Yeah, then you guys did Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus. These are some of my dream roles. Like since I was a kid, I've always wanted to play Debbie Jelinski.
Yeah.
And I got to do my Joan Cusack. Everybody get down on the ground. But officer, my gay husband was in that house. You know, like, the whole show. It got deeper and deeper. Oh my God, Morticia! You know, like, I hope that if Joan Cusack ever hears me doing that impression, she knows it's with love. It's
I'm
with
sure
so much
she
love.
does. You guys got to spend a lot of time together. You guys did a long run in Provincetown, right?
Yeah, we did a run in Provincetown. We've taken it to the UK.
Yeah.
She's just one of those amazing, like, it's her intelligence that sets her apart. She's just so hip and with it and has so much to offer our community. And she's like having this second surge of popularity because, and she told me, there's older queens, we call it the old guard of drag, the queens who made it as big as you can make it before there was a TV show.
Totally.
Like Coco Peru, Heclina, Peaches, Dina Martina, Varla Jean Merman. I could keep listing
all
people.
the rest.
And all of them. Lady Bunny. And she and I talked about it, but some of those queens can get really bitter. That like they feel like certain opportunities have been handed to these fledgling queens much too soon or whatever. And she was like, well, you could be that way, or you could invite them into your world and everyone can benefit from it.
Right. I mean, she's managed to really rein in all the drag stars and make her shows even bigger than ever.
And now she's got, like, now the Drag Race fandom know everything about Peaches Christ. They're all waiting for the next production from her. And even though she incorporates so many Drag Race girls, she's still she's selective. She carefully curates her shows. She won't just throw someone into a role because they're the big name.
Yeah.
She finds the perfect role for that person, builds the show around it. She's just so amazing. And she has a movie called All About Evil.
Oh, yeah.
That's like, okay, so now when a drag queen says, I wrote and directed a movie, you're like, oh, great. And you think, oh, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be just hours of dick jokes and nothing else.
Right.
Her movie, All About Evil, is just amazing. It's like so well done. It's funny. It's gory. It's a horror movie. It stars Natasha Leone.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And Elvira out of drag. And unlike a drag queen, she plays a teeny tiny little part in her own movie. Like if I wrote a movie, I'd play every part.
All the parts.
You know, and she's in it. She gets her 2 zingers in there, and the rest of the movie is just her genius. You know?
Yeah, we love her.